Restoring peace on the continent, helping economies recover, ensuring adequate and affordable energy supplies, these are Europe's main goals for the year ahead. However, 2023 brings with it many questions that need to be answered. It is impossible to say when and how the war in Ukraine will end. The price to pay could be a heavy one for all parties involved, as the world wrestles with the economic and social consequences of Russia's invasion. Diplomacy needs to play an active role if peace is to be achieved. The economic impacts of the war in Ukraine are the second but equally important challenge. Record spikes in energy prices, soaring inflation, raw material shortages, rising debt levels and borrowing costs are affecting business activities and eroding household purchasing powers. These challenges require speedy and concerted action to safeguard economic stability. Tackling the climate crisis remains a high priority for 2023. A historic agreement reached at COP15 in Montreal took concrete steps to reverse the loss of nature. The plan also proposes to increase aid to developing countries. Migrants continue to flee war and poverty, while Europe's migration policy divides European governments. Brussels has announced a plan to better coordinate the EU's response, a first step towards real and shared reform. 2023 is an election year for many EU countries, including Greece. Political leaders are turning up the heat of debates and pounding the pavement to collect votes. In the fog of war, it's not easy to predict the outcome of Ukraine's autumn election, or even whether it will take place at all. Poland's parliamentary elections will also be held in autumn. Inflation and the cost of living crisis are some of the topics expected to influence the voters. Will 2023 be a year of political change in Spain? Will Pedro Sánchez manage to stay in power, or can the Popular Party win the elections? This will be up to the Spanish voters when they go to the polls at the end of the year. Now let's take a look at some upcoming key dates. On January 1st, the Eurozone welcomes its 20th member, Croatia, in its midst. Simultaneously, Zagreb will also be joining the Schengen area. January 1st will also see Brazil's Lula da Silva officially take office following a narrow victory against Jair Bolsonaro. He faces the challenging task of uniting a deeply divided nation. Meanwhile, the World Economic Forum returns to Davos, Switzerland on the 16th of January. It aspires to provide a platform for dialogue between the public and private sector. France and Germany are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Élysée Treaty, which laid the foundation for the Franco-German partnership following World War II. However, the relations between Paris and Berlin have been strained recently, which may cast a shadow on the planned meeting between Macron and Scholz. May 6 begins a new chapter for the British monarchy as King Charles III will be crowned at Westminster Abbey. According to the palace, the ceremony will be simple in light of the current economic crisis. After Kalush Orchestra's victory in 2022, Eurovision returns on May 13th. However, due to the war in Ukraine, Liverpool will be hosting the European Song Contest. May 19th will see Hiroshima host the next G7 summit. For Japan, the city devastated by the first nuclear attack is a symbolic choice to send a message of peace. Turkey is facing one of the most crucial elections in its history, and incumbent President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has already announced that he will run once again. The Women's FIFA World Cup kicks off on July 20th. Co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand, 32 teams will compete for a shot at the title. September will bring the G20 summit, chaired by India. Under the banner One Earth, One Family, One Future, energy and food security will be at the top of the agenda. And finally, the UAE will host the upcoming COP28. Abu Dhabi wants to play an important role in the fight against global warming.